Hello friends, in today's operating system class, we will see the topic files and that will come under 4th unit. In today's class, we will see the file attributes, file operations, file types and file structure. All these things we will see one by one. In this file concept, we will see the file attributes, file operations, file types and file structure. Okay, let us see all those things one by one. The first one is file attribute. Okay, by using this attribute only we can identify the file. Okay, here we are having the name, first attribute, identifier, type, location, size and protection and last time, date and user identification. So these are some of the file attributes. Let us see all those things one by one. The first attribute is name. Name means the symbolic name of the file. By using name only we can, that is the user can access this particular file. Okay, this is very important attribute. And second one is identifier. While creating a file, the unique number will be given to each file by the file system, that is used as identifier. The system will access the file only by its identifier. And third one is type. It defines the type of file. We are having various different types of files, isn't it? So the type defines the type of file. And next one is location. Location defines the location of file on the device. Okay. So in the physical memory, in which place the location is, the file is actually located. So location is generally a pointer that is used to point the current location of the file. Okay. Next one is size. The current size of the file. The current size may be defined by using bytes, words or blocks. And next one is protection. Okay, protection used to specify the access control information which determines to provide the access to user. Okay, the user can do, that is user can perform which of the operations on the file, right? It may be view only, view or edit, read only, etc. So these are some of the access controls, right? And the seventh one is time, date and user identification. So this is very important attribute. Here the creation, last modification and last use information will be available. Okay, and this data can be very useful for protection, security and usage monitoring. Okay, these are some of the attributes of files. And next let us see the file operations. The operating system can provide the system calls for performing some operations on the file, right? What are the operations? Create, write, read, reposition, delete, that is delete, truncate, okay, and close the file, open the file. So these are some of the operations that can be performed on files. Let us see the file operations one by one. First one is creating a file. See, while creating a file we have to follow two steps. The first one is we need to check whether the file name is already existing or not. If the file is already existing, then we cannot create the new file under the same name, okay, because the system will accept unique file name, right? And second one, we need to check whether the required memory space is available or not. Okay, if there is no sufficient memory space means we cannot create the new file. Writing a file, that is after creating a file we have to write some content on the file, isn't it? So the system should keep the right pointer to the location in which the file next writes to be taken place. Okay, see, this is a file. Normally the right pointer will locate on end of file, EOF. Okay, at the end of file only we are going to write further, but in between also sometimes we can insert some content, so that we have to reposition the right pointer into the corresponding place where we are going to write. The next one is read operation. Okay, the system keeps the read pointer to the location in which the file where the next read to be taken place. Okay, normally the read pointer will be located on beginning of the file, BOF. Okay, the read will be taken place only the beginning of the file. This is the default position. Sometimes we can read the content in between also. In that situation, the read pointer should be repositioned into the current location, that is the required location. Then the content will be readed out. The next operation is repositioning within a file. That means the file pointer for read operation or the write operation that will be moved from one position to another position is called as repositioning. For example, if it is read operation, the default file pointer position is beginning of the file. Okay, suppose I want to read the 50th record, then the file, that is read pointer, will move to this particular position, and this operation is called as seek the record number. Okay, suppose if it is write operation, normally the write operation will be taken place at the end of file, but in between we need to write something, means we have to reposition this write pointer into the required position, then we can perform the write operation. So this is called as repositioning. To repositioning we can use the system call called seek. Okay, seek record number. The next one is deleting a file. Okay, once you delete a file, the operating system will release the file space from the memory. That is, the memory will be released by the operating system, and this memory will be used by some other files in future. Okay, and the entry will be removed from the directory also. Okay, from the directory also the file name will be removed. This is called as delete a file. When come to truncating a file, the truncation operation will remove only the content of the file and the file structure remains same. Okay, that is, it will erase the content of the file but it keeps its attributes, that is the file attributes. Then the file size will become 0. The file size will become 0. All the content will be removed but it keeps the file structure. Okay, after truncating you can see the file on the directory but there is no content in that file. Next, let us see file types. There are thousands of different file types are there. Let us see some here. The first one is executable file. Executable file means ready to run the file, and that is normally the machine language programs. The extensions are .exe file or .com file, .bin, etc. These are executable files. And second one is object files. The compiled files are nothing but object files. These are normally the machine language files. Okay, the extension is .obj or .o, which is called as object file. And next one is source code. Source code means various programming files are nothing but source code file. So based on the language, the extensions may be different. C, CC, Java, Perl, okay, CPP. So these are some of the source code files. And next one is batch file. Batch file means commands to the command interpreter. Okay, sequence of commands will be there that will be executed once the batch file is getting executed. Okay, the extension is bat or sh. .bat is batch file. And next one is markup file. Markup file means textual data or document. Normally the HTML or scripting languages are there. Okay, XML, HTML, text. So these are some of the example of markup files. And word processor. Okay, various word processor formats will come under word processor files. The XML, rich text file, DOC, DOCX are word processor files. And next one is library. Libraries are that is libraries of routines for programmers. Okay, all the executable functions will be loaded in this library files. Okay, the extensions are .lib, .dll, a and so. So these are some of the library files. And next, print files are view file. That is, we can only view this particular file. So this format is the ASCII code or the binary file. and the extension is PDF. Normally all the PDF files are only view files, and sometimes the JPEG and GIF files will also come here. And next one is archive. Archive means all the related files are grouped into one file, and sometimes these files may be compressed for archiving or storage. Okay, the extension is rar file, zip file or tar files. So these are archives. And the last one is multimedia. Multimedia, that is the binary file which contains audio or video, that is AV information. Okay, MPEG file, MOV, that is movie file, MP3, MP4 and AVI files. These are some of the multimedia files. File structures. A file may consider a sequence of blocks. That means a file contains a sequence of blocks. Okay. All the data will be stored inside the block, right? And a disk system have well defined block size determined by the size of sectors. Okay, see here, this is a very big disk, and this disk also contains a well defined blocks, right? Here all the disk is performed units of one block, that is the physical record. Okay, so this is called as physical record, and all the blocks are same size, where in a disk space all the blocks are same size, right? Everything are same size, right? Here the physical record size is not exactly matched with the logical record. Logical record is nothing but the file, okay, which contains a collection of information, right? And logical records may even vary in length. All the files are different size, right? And now we have to store this logical record, that is file, into physical storage disk, right? That is packing the number of logical records into physical blocks. So file is also containing number of blocks, isn't it? But when come to physical block, all the blocks are same size, but this is not possible in the logical record. Okay, here the logical record size and physical record size packing techniques which determines how many logical records in each physical block. Okay, the block size is very big, that is the physical block size is very big when compared to logical files blocks. Okay, so in a particular single physical block, how many logical files will be stored, that is to determine the size of logical record and size of physical block size and the packing technique, which packing technique we are using. Okay, and when come to packing, it can be done either by user's application program or by the operating system. What is meant by packing? Packing is nothing but storing the file into the physical device, that is secondary storage device simply. And in each case, that is either it may be by using the user's application program or by the operating system, file may be considered as a sequence of blocks, right? All the basic IO functions, operations in terms of blocks, and the conversion from logical records to physical record is relatively simple software problem. Okay, that is the file should be converted from logical to physical block, logical record to physical record, because the size are very different. Logical record size and physical record size are different. Here the disk space is always allocated in blocks. So this is the disk space, always allocated in blocks, and some portion of last block of each file may be wasted. Okay, let us see how it will be wasted. Each block's size may be 512. So here we are having block, the size is 512 bytes. And suppose if the file size is 1949 bytes, 1949. So to store this particular file, we have to allocate 4 blocks. Okay, 4 blocks. All the block size is 512 bytes. Okay, When come to the last block, see 99 bytes will be wasted. In this last block, the last 99 bytes will be wasted. Okay, because the file size and the block size are different. Okay. Hence, the file system suffered by internal fragmentation. Okay, all these wasted blocks should be collected, and that will be form another very big block to store some other files. Okay, if the block size is large, suppose this particular block size is large, then what will happen? Internal fragmentation should also be large, greater the internal fragmentation. Up to this we have seen the file concept from file system from the 4th unit, and in this class we have seen the file attributes, file operations, different types of files, and the file structure. In the next class we will see another important topic from 4th unit. Thank you.